Welcome to the Real Film Nerds Podcast.
Welcome, listeners, new and old, to another exciting episode of the Real Film Nerds Podcast. Hey, Mike, we better back up. We don't have enough road to get up to 88 miles per hour.
Where we're going, we don't need roads.
Nice. Love it. Perfect. Well, everyone, today, Mysterious Mike and I decided we need to watch, or actually you decided, Mike, that we needed to watch a movie that's fun, classic, incredible, amazing, 1980s, Michael J. Fox, Christopher Lloyd. How else can I describe it? Oh, and time travel. We got to remember the time travel. So for Real Film Nerds episode 172, is that right?
Yeah. Yes, that is.
Damn, I'm getting good. I know how to count. So for today, we're kicking off our summer retrospective of Back to the Future with the very first one, Back to the Future from 1985. Mike, do your thing. Give us the rundown, huh?
Yeah. So like Matt said, this is Back to the Future 1985. It's directed by Robert Zemeckis, written by Robert Zemeckis and Bob Gale, starring Michael J. Fox, Christopher Lloyd, Leah Thompson, Crispin Glover, Thomas F. Wilson. And this movie is about Marty McFly, a typical American teenager of the 80s, is accidentally sent back to 1955 in a plutonium-powered DeLorean time machine invented by a slightly mad scientist. During his often hysterical, always amazing trip back in time, Marty must make certain his teenage parents to be meet and fall in love so he can get back to the future.
Now, I know you didn't write that one, Mike, because that one was really good.
No. I am not taking credit for that. It was on the unofficial sponsor, IMDb.
Of the Real Film Nerds Podcast, IMDb. Woo!
Yeah. Matt, this one is, when it showed up on Netflix, I own these movies, and I'm sure you do too. And but when it showed on Netflix, it's like, oh, well, I have to watch it. So I immediately watched all three of them back to back as fast as I could. When I found the extra, 6 hours it is.
Well, you don't work and you don't leave the house, and you're everyone that's quarantined, you're legit one of those quarantine people. I'm not. I got to keep going out of the house and working and, doing things like that. So that's why the quarantine hasn't been so bad for me, because I just keep working. It's the same. It's just instead of going and editing at an office, I come home and edit. It's the same. But yeah, so you got to power through the Back to the Future trilogy. So, but Mike, that's not how we're doing this. We're talking about the first one this week. We're talking about the second one next week. We're talking about the third one the week after that. So you're going to have to watch them all again. Are you okay with that?
Yeah, no, totally okay. I've got to watch them over and over to see if I can pick out anything new or just enjoy in this excellent filmmaking.
Well, I was shaming my radio sponsor, I guess. I don't know, radio host-ish, whatever. The young lady whose radio program in Prescott, Arizona, who I am on once a week, I was shaming her this morning when we were recording my segment. She's only seen Back to the Future once, and I think it was probably in and or around the time it came out, and I was shaming her because I watched it twice just last week leading up to do this podcast.
Yeah, wow. Well, she's only seen it once. Just in 1985?
And, well, I don't know if she saw it in 1985. I mean, I assume it was closer to when it came out, but she said that's what she does. She, there's so many movies out there in the world, she doesn't want to get tied down watching them more than once, so she watches any movie she sees, she only watches it once. She has a handful she's seen more than once, but not many. And I said, well, Back to the Future needs to be one of your new ones that you watch more than once, because you need to watch it again. I'm sorry.
Yeah, no, I agree on that, Matt. That is a travesty and should not be allowed to go on. One of the reasons I partly picked this is I know a lot of people have Netflix or have access to a passcode, and it's just a great series for us to review. So and it's fun, and I know things are so weird right now with everybody locked up. Well, or a lot of people locked up, or some people starting work now, and then other people freaking out about what they can do, what they can't do. It's real weird out there.
All right, Mike, so let's do it. What are your first impressions of your 300th viewing of Back to the Future, the original?
This is going to be one of those very biased reviews. I've loved this movie since I first saw it. I couldn't tell you exactly when I first saw it. I was trying to remember when I first saw it. I'm pretty sure it was in 1985. I was pretty young. So I would say it was somewhere like early 90s when I saw it. I don't know. I can't remember. Matt, do you remember? But anyway, I'll stop asking you questions. My first impression, it's great. It's just such a good movie. It holds up still really well. The DeLorean's a little funky to look at, but at least it's quite a unique car.
I don't know when the first time I saw it. It was definitely not in the movie theater. It was probably at home. Probably on TV, most likely. So I don't think my parents owned it. I don't remember. But no, the DeLorean was like one of my favorite parts and still is. I mean, dude, come on. Bright, shiny, stainless steel, polished up. That was like one of my things. I wanted to own the DeLorean. Like, there was someone in Sierra Vista that even owned one. I don't know if you remember. I remember exactly where the guy lived. And I would always drive by when I was a kid and try and see if the DeLorean was outside or what. I loved it. I loved that car.
Nice. It's a unique looking car for sure, and it totally is. I can't imagine the movie not having a DeLorean in it. It's a star of the movie as well. It's so part of it. I don't know.
Dude, I agree wholeheartedly just because it's so unique. And I think probably the DeLorean Motor Company, I don't know if they were still in business when this movie came out because they did not have a long life. They did not. I think the only car they produced was, the one DeLorean vehicle they produced for a couple of years. But I definitely think probably afterwards it skyrocketed in sales. I mean, people still buy and collect them and restore them today because they're just a really unique, cool car. I'm pretty sure Elon Musk was inspired by them. I mean, had to have been.
Oh, I'm sure. The flex capacitor. There's so many good quotes. This movie just has it all, man. The chemistry between Doc Brown and Michael J. Fox is so much fun to watch. I don't know how it was filming, but they must have had a blast.
Oh, dude, Christopher Lloyd is one of my favorite actors, comedic actors. He's decent serious actor, but a comedic actor, he's one of my favorites. He is just absolutely incredible at what he does. He's always been really good. He's a good comedic writer. And the chemistry with him and Michael J. Fox, I don't know how it happened, but that chemistry in this movie inspired a whole nother huge pop culture show, Rick and Morty.
Oh, yeah.
How many other films can you think of, other than Star Wars, obviously, that has inspired other creative shows and mediums from one film series, as this goes? There's Star Trek, Star Wars, but Trek I consider a TV show before a film. Back to the Future, there's a handful, but that's it. And Back to the Future is one of the biggest, man. It's one of my favorites.
Yeah. This one's so much fun. Matt, speaking of Star Wars, one of the executive producers in this movie is Kathleen Kennedy. How do you feel about that?
No comment. Dude, she worked on a lot of stuff, even with George Lucas. That's how she became, the CEO and president and whatever the hell you want to say of Lucasfilm when Disney bought him. But also there's a much bigger name tied to this, Mike. Mr. Spielberg. And I'm sure he probably overruled anything she decided to try and change.
That's true. It does say Steven Spielberg presents Back to the Future.
Yeah, well, I'm pretty sure he paid for it. I think is what happened.
Yeah, I'm not sure of all the story for that, but yeah, this movie is so great. They did such a good job. It's still so fun to watch all these years later. Of course, we're biased, but I guess, Matt, before we get too far into this, I'm going to ask you, what champagne are you drinking today?
Damn it, Mike. Of course, there's a big advertisement for the beer I am partaking in today. Right at the end, he's pouring it in the flux capacitor. What did they call that? Mr. Fusion. Right here.
Yes.
The champagne of beers, Miller High Life. Come on, you have to.
Yes.
Classic movie beer.
Yeah. You're right. It is in the it hasn't changed too much, the design of the bottle and stuff.
That's how you know it's good.
Yeah, they don't have to change anything.
So, all right, Mike, what are you drinking?
All right, Matt, I am drinking a Stone IPA, delicious IPA. It is a citrusy IPA with lemon drop and El Dorado hops.
How many IPAs does Stone put out? Like 20, 30?
Like couple hundred. I don't know. No, I don't know. I think it varies from year to year. I don't know. Their core IPAs are probably only 2 or 3. So
yeah, I know they
have all these one-offs,
like seasonals and stuff.
Yeah, Stone has this one seasonal. It's called Coco Vesa. Oh, it's so good, man. It's like Mexican hot chocolate. So good.
Mexican hot chocolate. Like cinnamony, like hot chocolate?
Yeah, it's like cinnamony. It's got some, like, a little bit of spice in it, and then it's a stout. Oh, it's so good.
Dude, I'm going to have to try that. That sounds right up my alley. I'm not a huge fan of cinnamon, but I don't hate it either. I would not mind a little flavor of that, so...
Yeah, it's called Coco Vesa. It comes out around Christmas. Or winter.
Winter. All right, Mike. Well, I guess I'll just ask my question. Might as well get it out of the way. I mean, we've already spoiled this movie. How can you not spoil a 30-year-old plus movie? Because this came out in 85. So that's what? Coming up on 40-year-old movie.
What, 35? 35 years?
Yeah. So yeah, that makes me feel old. But all right, Mike, here we go. I don't think it would be too difficult to find this one, but I'm sure you had to hunt a little bit. So, Mike, how does Back to the Future, the original from 1985, relate to the Marvel Cinematic Universe?
Well, thanks for asking, Matt. This one wasn't too hard to find. The composer, Alan Silvestri, worked on Avengers Infinity War, Avengers Endgame, Avengers, and Captain America, the first Avenger.
Yeah, dude. Alan Silvestri, as everyone has heard by now because our intro has already come through. Yes, it's a long one, and I don't care. I'm leaving it in there. I like it. You're going to hear it for the next 3 weeks. The Back to the Future theme, love it. I mean, iconic.
Yeah, Matt was hating on me because I said it was a little long.
I don't care. It's iconic. We're leaving it in. We're leaving it in, Mike. And that's what she said.
We're leaving it in.
Or is that what he said? Yeah, that's what he said. Yeah. Maybe? I don't know. We're both kind of confused.
Yeah, well,
I think it could go either way. Either way. Either way, it doesn't matter. It's dirty.
It is dirty.
All right, Mike. So there's no point in spoiling it. Let's just continue our discussion. Oh, you know what? Let's do this. Mike, did you know that Marty McFly's dad in this movie is technically younger than him?
No, I did not know.
Yeah, Crispin Glover is younger than Michael J. Fox. Not by a lot, but like 3 or 4 years. Yeah. Leah Thompson is the same age, though, as Michael J. Fox.
Oh, nice.
But
I know they put on a lot of makeup for her. Like, it was like to age her.
They put on a lot of makeup to age everyone. And, being 19, they shot this probably, 83, 84 to come out in 85?
Yeah.
I would say being that time period, the makeup doesn't look bad at all. It looks really pretty good. I mean, some of it on Christopher Lloyd looks pretty rough, but for the most part, aging them young, well, they didn't age them younger. They were just younger. But aging them older for the 80s, I think, was pretty good. I think they did well.
Yeah, and it was an interesting strategy to kind of have a younger cast and then make them look older, instead of having like an older cast trying to, like, a lot of movies I think now do like de-aging, where they're having older people turn to younger, but it's all like CG and stuff. But for this one, they're like, oh, we don't have any of that stuff, so they just did it backwards. I mean, it worked well, I thought. Yeah,
I thought it worked out great. And I think a lot of the reasons why they do that, especially like things like The Irishman, is because they want the seasoned actor. But I mean, they all did a good job, all of them, in my opinion.
Yeah.
I mean, clearly at the time, Michael J. Fox was the biggest known out of all of them, and they actually kind of shifted around the shooting schedule so they could have Michael J. Fox, because he was currently doing Family Ties when this was shot. But Crispin Glover was fairly unknown. Thomas F. Wilson was fairly unknown. Leah Thompson was fairly unknown. Christopher Lloyd was known, but he's not one of the young kids. I mean, he was younger, but he wasn't like one of the high school kids in this. So.
Oh yeah. Mm-hmm.
So all right. Well, there's a little bit of trivia for me. Oh, here's another one. Mike, a really big actor. Well, not so big now anymore. This was his very first movie ever. It was of his feature film debut. Do you know who that is?
No, I'm not sure.
Billy Zane.
Really?
Billy Zane was one of Biff's henchmen. His name was Match because he had a match in his mouth the whole time.
Wow. That's interesting. Yeah, Billy Zane's been in quite a bit. I wouldn't say he's been in as much lately, but he's definitely been in tons of movies.
Oh, yeah, dude. His biggest role, I would say, is probably Titanic. He was huge in Titanic.
Yeah.
All right, Mike, your turn. I know you looked up a bunch of trivia. Do it. Hit us with some.
All right, man. So how many times was this script rejected?
Oh, God, a lot. That's why they went to Steven Spielberg, I think.
44 times.
Oh, geez. That's a lot higher than I thought. That's a whole lot higher.
This was the highest grossing movie of 1985. Let's see. I don't know what else. What else should I? After the film's release, body kits were made for DeLoreans to make them look like the time machine.
Really? I didn't know that. That's pretty cool. Damn it. Makes me want a DeLorean even fucking more now. This is terrible. It goes yeah. Dodge Viper, then DeLorean.
Nice. In December 2007, it was selected by the Library of Congress for preservation in the National Film Registry as being culturally, historically, and aesthetically significant.
Nice.
Yes, so it's immortalized forever in the Library of Congress.
Literally forever.
Yeah. When this movie was previewed for a test audience, Industrial Light and Magic had not completed the final DeLorean in-flight shot. The last several minutes of the movie were previewed in black and white. It didn't matter, as the audience roared in approval of the final scene anyway.
Dude, seriously, they had to have... I think the original script had to have been at least 1 and 2, maybe not 3, but at least 1 and 2, because it flows so seamlessly from 1 into 2. Now 3 is a little different, but they had to have had at least 1 and 2 written by the time they filmed the original, because it just works so well. Yeah, no, it does. It does. It did flow in really well. It's amazing how well.
And then, I'm not going to talk about the second one. We'll talk about that one next
week.
Yeah,
okay,
but I will say, the first one had, some product placement stuff in it, but the following movies had much more. At least the second one had a ton of product placement stuff, because I think people were jumping on the bandwagon to be like, oh, you're going to make another one? Well, why don't you feature our blah-de-blah product or whatever? So there was a lot of stuff in the second one. It's kind of fun to poke fun of some of that stuff. Like, that's the second one.
Well, okay, we could poke fun at some in this. Like, when they're drinking the different sodas, they are always drinking Pepsi or a Pepsi product. Like, even
absolutely,
his mom in the beginning scenes when they're like sitting down to dinner and everything. I think outside of like her glass of vodka, because I don't think she added anything to it, she like holds a Mountain Dew can like perfect so you can see the label. Like, it's a normal person would not like hold a can, to where you could see the whole label
like
uncovered,
facing
the camera. Like, it was perfect. So, and then there's Burger King. Burger King was huge in this one. It's right next to, Doc Brown's place. And then, there was a lot of product placement in this one. Not as much as 2, though, but there still is quite a bit.
Yeah. But it's fine. It's just when you go back and look at it, sometimes you're like, man, they really did kind of throw some things in there. Like, if you're not really paying attention or looking for it, you're like, oh, they are really like marketing to us all the time. Sometimes it's just super blatant, like some of those Transformer movies.
Oh yeah,
where it like just stops. It stops for a while, like on the Bud Light, and then like you're like, well, like why did the action scene just stop for a while, and then it just keeps going?
You got to pay for the movie somehow. I mean, all that's the Bay Bangs aren't free, Mike.
Yeah, is that what she said?
Yeah, we'll go with that. Bay Bangs aren't free. I like it.
Yeah. But it's this movie, the script, Biff is such a ridiculous character and so like fun. Like, but he was bully, and like, it's interesting to see, like, he was very characterized bully, but it's like, and I think I was going to draw something about how nowadays the bullies are so much different and all the bullying of school, but
yeah, well, the big difference is it's not like in person as much anymore. It's all online now.
Oh yeah, and it's like constant.
Yeah, it's only gotten worse. Where when we were growing up, I'm sure you were bullied. I know I was bullied. When I went home, I was away from the bully. At least I got a little respite then, but not at school. It was relentless. And now with social media and all that shit, it's just on all the time.
Yeah, that's true. Things have changed quite a bit.
Like that thing he's writing in the town square that looks a lot like the courthouse plaza in Prescott, surprisingly. That's called a skateboard, for those of you who don't know. They were really popular in the 80s and 90s.
Oh, that's what that is.
Yeah. Did you? I don't remember if you ever had a skateboard, Mike.
No, my mom wouldn't let me.
That's right. She thought it was too dangerous.
She thought I'd hurt.
Yeah.
She thought I'd hurt myself. She was right. I would have hurt myself.
Dude, I hurt myself pretty good every now and then on mine.
Yeah, everyone I knew who had a skateboard hurt themselves. But I hurt myself on my bike a lot too. So it's like you just trade one pain creating vehicle to another.
Dude, I still have scars from our mountain bike days, like on my arms and stuff from hitting trees. Yeah.
Oh yeah, man. I have all kinds of stuff from when we were real young. We making ramps and stuff and jumping and always freaking falling.
Yeah. Well,
Yeah. You're like, oh, I'm going to make a ramp. All right, cool. And then you always fall. So the guitar opening scene, oh, man,
classic.
Like that. It's just like, it's so fun. You're like, oh, you can almost even anticipate that something's bad's going to happen. Because he like turns it up and like the way it's shot, it's perfect. And then just one strum.
Yep, that's it. and then the answering machine, which is what people call voicemail now, clicks on, and it's Doc Brown saying, "I think there's something wrong. You might not want to listen. Turn it on or something.
Don't use the power amp. There's something wrong or whatever.
It might overload."
Oh, are those all my clocks? Oh, they're working perfectly. They're 20 minutes late.
Oh, yeah. I think he was actually talking on the phone. I don't think he left a message. But anyways, yeah. But no, the intro, that's one thing that's kind of interesting. The intro of this film lays a lot of groundwork, There's newspaper articles. There's plutonium in there. There's, the Brown Mansion burned to the ground, all kinds of stuff going on, which we've talked about in a few of our other films, but they did it very eloquently in this. And it's very reminiscent for me of Pee-wee's Big Adventure with the opening of that, when he's making breakfast. It's very similar to that.
Oh, yeah. I enjoy that this kind of shows that he's kind of a tinkerer or kind of a inventor in his own way, as he tried to make his own little like feeding station for the dog, and like just all this automatic stuff to make coffee and stuff. Of course, you see how everything's like in disrepair, but I thought it was really neat to just see that stuff in this like slow kind of pan of everything happening. I thought it was great.
Well, he is an inventor. I mean, that's how he invented the time machine. He's been an inventor his whole life, a failed inventor. That's why he lost his family's fortune and the mansion burned to the ground and all this stuff. And then his one big hit is he can't tell anybody because it would literally change the face of the earth, which they find out just by one person going back in time.
Yeah.
All right, Mike, so should we get to the bread and butter? Are you done reminiscing about Back to the Future? Is there more parts you want to talk about?
I mean, there's so much that it could talk about. I mean, we could probably break it down scene by scene, Matt, but no, let's
Yeah, dude, we really probably could, because I love this movie. It's one of my favorites of all time. It's inspired so much. It inspired an entire novel that was turned into a film done by Steven Spielberg. I mean, how ironic is that?
Yeah, that's fun.
Granted,
the Ready Player One.
Yeah, granted, it wasn't like 100% this movie, but it was just pop culture focused, and the novel is more about Star Wars and Back to the Future than just about anything else. So, anyways, I love this movie all around. It's great. So much fun.
It is.
All right, Mike, go first.
What, you want me to give her my rating right now?
Only if you want to. I mean, you don't have to give it a rating.
Yeah, no, I'll go. Matt, I'm going to give this 5 out of 5 reels.
See, this is why we should have just like switched these around so that we could have like 15 in a row of ratings. Because, I mean, of course I'm giving this a 5. I told you I was going to give it a 5. I freaking love this movie. It's amazing. I mean, if you haven't seen this by now in your life, how dare you? And you're into movies, or you're just an American, how dare you? If you've not seen Back to the Future, it's un-American.
There you go. That's Matt at realfilmnerds.com.
Yep. But remember, shitty selfies continue to go to Mike at realfilmnerds.com. He loves them. The shittier, the better.
Yeah, go for it.
Oh, okay. So we've already talked about it. Mike, next week, we're going to continue our Back to the Future summer retrospective with Back to the Future 2.
Yes, yeah.
I have a feeling that stars Michael J. Fox, Christopher Lloyd, Leah Thompson, Crispin Glover, and Thomas F. Wilson. What do you think?
I think you're on the right direction.
This will be fun.
Hey, it will, man. It'll be fun. Yeah, so hopefully everyone has seen Back to the Future, and this is just you reminiscing with us. But if you haven't, like Matt said, it pretty much is American travesty that if you haven't seen it. So you need to watch it. It's on Netflix. You know someone who has a password if you don't have Netflix. Although you should have Netflix. But if you don't, you gotta know someone who has a password. Just go over to their house. Hang out. Watch a movie.
Wait, hold on, Mike. Are you encouraging people to not social distance? What's wrong with you?
Oh, no, social distance, make sure 6 feet. Like one person's on one recliner, another person's on another recliner, not anywhere close to each other. They get some food from a restaurant, but they don't touch the food. Like everything's the food was made by robots, and then we'll be good.
Should they get Burger King?
I don't know if that's robot made. I mean, I know they have that grill that you just like put the meat on it and then it comes out and it's done. The frame broiler or whatever.
You mean the meat that's not really meat because it's plant-based?
Well, there's
it's
that.
Goo.
Well, that's yeah, it's goo.
I'm a goo man.
Impossible Burger.
You see that Southpark?
Yeah, you love that one, dude.
It's so funny. It's so funny.
It's the oil, man. You love it.
Because it's a rip on There Will Be Blood. It's so good. I'm a goo man. I love that one. It was so good.
Oh, yeah. Oh, man. What do you think the Southparks this year are going to be about?
I got to guess. Probably like COVID-19. But I'm just throwing that out there.
Dude, I can't wait to see Cartman, Stan, and Kyle social distance.
Oh, dude, Cartman is going to be like the one that's against like masks, and he's going to like start some kind of like anti-mask liberation front or something. It's going to be good. It's going to be real good.
Yeah, and it'll be the whole season. They'll be building it up because they have continuity now. Oh, man.
It'll be fun.
Yeah, it will be fun.
Well, all right, Mike. I don't have anything else other than go watch this movie. Enjoy it like the rest of us.
Yes, watch this movie. Make sure to catch us on all the socials, Facebook, Twitter, the Grams.
You know what? Maybe watch Back to the Future 2 with us next week, and then write in, email us, let us know your thoughts. We'll read them here on the pod if you want. If we get anything.
Okay.
Sounds good, right?
Right.
Yeah?
Yeah, it sounds good. All right. I think with that, we'll let you guys get going back to your quarantining and social distancing and all that. Anyway, hopefully you enjoyed this movie and you enjoyed this pod. So catch us on the next one. And in the meantime, go watch as many movies as you can.
Thank you for listening to The Real Film Nerds. Now, don't forget to follow us on Facebook, Twitter, and Instagram at Real Film Nerds. Now, go out and catch a movie.
Good morning, Magic 99.1. Who's this?
What? You're not even going to guess this week? I'm disappointed.
Oh, it must be Matt Hinshaw from the Real Film Nerds podcast. Good morning, Maddie. How are ya?
See, that's cheating once you already heard my voice.
Will you believe this? I do not have caller ID here at the station. I mean, I am living in the dark ages, Matt. So really, I didn't know. I was hoping,
right,
but I didn't know.
For those of you who like to prank call, now you know where you can get away with it. It's calling the radio station.
It's so true and so sad. So sad. How you doing, Matt?
I'm living the dream. How are you, Lisa?
I'm right there next to you, buddy. I bet you watched something fun this weekend or last week.
Yeah, well, me and my nice, fun co-host, Mysterious Mike Talent, yes, that is not his Christian name, we decided we need to watch something fun since everything is so terrible.
Yeah.
And so we watched 1980s classic that is currently streaming on Netflix, Back to the Future.
Oh, Back to the Future. Back to the good old days, right?
Exactly.
Oh, yes. Definitely a classic for sure.
Lisa, what do you think of Back to the Future? Because I'm sure you've seen it.
Well, I've seen it. I only saw it once, though, because that's how I roll. One and done, buddy. But what I can remember, it was very fun. Marty McFly, right? He was in that.
Oh, yeah. One and done. That is horrible.
I know.
I watched it twice last week.
Oh, my gosh.
Just last week I watched it twice.
I have friends, Roger and Jana. They watch the same movie every night when they go to bed. I just can't imagine. There's just too much out there to watch anything more than once.
Oh, no.
For me, anyway.
Oh, no, they need more variety. Yeah, no,
Yeah.
Well, but when it's this good of a movie, you got to watch it more than once. I mean,
okay.
You just got to.
You know what? I did watch Jerry Maguire like 6 times and Top Gun like 5. So I get it. I understand.
Okay, all right, I'll let it slide. Just not for the Jerry Maguire, but for the Top Gun. Because, Top Gun, that's a great film.
Yes.
Amazing film.
Absolutely. Well, that's fun that you took a trip back to the future.
Well, the interesting thing is we're going to do, probably, we haven't discussed it, but a retrospective where this week we're going to do 1, next week we're going to do 2, and maybe the week after we'll do 3.
Oh, I think you've got the time, Matt. Why not?
Plenty of time, and I love the films.
Right.
So I think you need to go watch it again, Lisa.
I think you're right.
Since it's on Netflix.
I think you're right. I think I will do that this week because I remember it being really fun. And there's so many references to it, especially now.
Oh, yeah. Well, and there's an entire another show that is extremely loved by a large majority of pop culture that was inspired by Back to the Future.
Okay, well, and there's 3 of them? There's 3 Back to the Futures?
Yes, ma'am. There are 3. Yeah.
Oh, wow. Okay. Yeah, I need to get busy.
You need to get on it.
Excellent. So how many reels do you give Back to the Future, Matt?
I absolutely love this movie. How can you not? It's Robert Zemeckis, Steven Spielberg involved. I believe George Lucas had a little bit of a hand in here. I mean, I absolutely love this movie. It's incredible. It's a must-see. It's a perfect 5 out of 5.
5 out of 5. Oh my gosh. I don't think you've ever given a film a 5 on this show before.
Maybe I have, but it's probably a classic.
Wow, that is awesome. 5 out of 5. I'm definitely going to revisit it and refresh my memory. How's that?
Refresh your memory. I like it. That works. Maybe you'll go back in time.
Wouldn't that be nice? Just about 2-3 months.
that would be nice. That's what it really is. We're all just dreaming that we wish we had a time machine so that we can go back
in time
with all the knowledge we have today, right?
Amen.
That would be great.
That would be great. Matt, let's look into the future. What do you think you'll watch for next week?
Well, that's what I said. I think we're probably going to do Back to the Future 2. Yeah.
Right. Okay, well.
I'm not 100%. I'm not 100% we're going to, but I think that's what we're probably going to do.
All right. I won't hold you to it, but I appreciate your review this morning. 5 out of 5. It doesn't get any better than that.
No, it doesn't.
You guys be sure to catch Matt's podcast. It's The Real Film Nerds. Thanks for calling in this morning, Maddie.
Thank you, Lisa.
You're welcome. Bye-bye.
Bye.